Keep the bag, King Walker.
What's up, LFG fam? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we got for you guys a brand new show that we just finished watching yesterday. Premiered on FX, talking about Shogun. We saw this yesterday and we wanted to go ahead and write a review. We did the trailer reaction for it back, I don't know, many months ago, a couple months ago, whatever the case may be, and it looked phenomenal. We were going to check it out. So yeah, that's what we did. Shit. Do you want to rate this off the first two episodes alone, and then we'll go? Yeah, let's do that.
Yes.
It's LFG. If you guys are new to LFG, we give you our ratings at the top of the episode, at the top of the video, so you guys can know what's going on with it, and then we'll just go ahead and go to spoiler talk after that. So ratings, Jet. What did you think about the first two episodes? What's the vibes?
So obviously, when this I don't exactly remember when the reviews started to drop. I don't really remember, but the main part of that is that it debuted at 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I was like, damn, because sometimes when something debuts on Rotten Tomatoes, it'll be like 5-10 reviews, and that'll edge out to be like a 90 or something.
Yeah.
But no, it was like 100 with like 35. So I was like, okay, this is nuts. We're gonna have to check this out. Yeah. Dude. Mind blown. I was in love with it. After the first two episodes, I was like, fuck, I want more. Dude, 5 stars. 5 stars. I loved it. So
absolutely, I'm with Jet on this one. It's a 5 stars. It took me a little longer to watch. I was gonna watch it immediately after a movie that I started watching. I was like, you know what? This is feudal Japan. Gloria wants to watch this, and she's all about feudal Japan stuff. So I'm like, let me pause. Let me get her in on the show. And she was actually tired, but she was exhausted. So I didn't think she was gonna stay awake for it. So for her to stay awake throughout the whole 2.5 hours of the show, it tells you something, because I was like, there's no way you're still awake. And she's like, yeah, no, this is good. Are we done? And I'm like, yeah, that's just 2 episodes. That's it. It's week to week. It's FX. We got to wait. She's like, damn, well, why do we start watching it? She's like me. She don't like the week to week. But 5 stars all around, man. Like, a phenomenal show, phenomenal opening, hooks you right away. Oh, well, I wouldn't say right away. Let's there you guys go. Let's get into the spoilers real quick. So you got 5 stars from Jet. You got 5 stars from me. Go check out Shogun if you haven't done so already. Like Jet mentioned, it's at 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's still at 90. Yeah, still at 100% right now as of this recording. 95% with the audience score, which let me know those other 5%, because it's 100% for me right now. so let me know. You guys comment if you guys what you guys thought about the show. Let us know. So here we go. We're gonna go straight into the spoiler talk now. So go check that out. Come back if you haven't seen it. Yeah, like I said, it does hook you right away. It's a little slower start when they're introducing the Englishman. Let me get his name. I think it was John Blackthorne. And they're just kind of establishing his story and how him and the crew are starved. They're about to run out of water. He's going to the captain like, no, man, we could still find Japan. We're looking for Japan. We could do this. This thing. He's like, nah, man, I'm done. Like, what are you going for me? I'm done. Leaves his gun there and ends up just doing the deed. So that was a great scene. Don't get me wrong, but I didn't hook that fast, I guess is what I'm saying.
I wasn't there either, for sure.
Yeah. So I did enjoy the scene though, but yeah. Then right after that, then you get into feudal Japan. So as a quick synopsis, real quick, story centers around John Blackthorne, like I mentioned, who's shipwrecked on Japan, and as he's doing that, we get a story of 2 daimyos. I believe I'm saying that right, who are at war with each other, Toranada and Ishido. And Ishido is the one that's like controlling the other 4, the other three daimyos. So yeah, he just crash landed. He's in the center of this civil war because the last daimyo, the head of the whole Japan, ended up dying. I think a few years prior, maybe a year prior, something like that.
I think it was a year, because I think they showed it.
Okay, yeah, it was like a year prior, and now we got like these civil unrest amongst the 5 lords. Who's gonna take control? What's gonna happen? And off rip, bro, this man Hideyuki Sanada, who plays Yoshi Toranado,
Man.
absolutely amazing. I am so happy because when I saw him in the trailer, I said, "Oh hell yeah, bro! This guy kills a lot of the roles that he's in, and he does not disappoint whatsoever with this one. He is smart beyond your wildest dreams. We're playing checkers, and by I know that's an old saying. We're playing checkers while he's playing chess. No, this man, we're playing checkers. This dude is playing like 3 chess games at the same time, bro. Like it's insane. What is the level of thinking that this guy has? I am absolutely astonished by his performance, by his character. Everything about it was so amazing to see. What did you think about him, Jet? What did you think?
Yeah, I don't really have as much experience with him as you do, seeing him in different properties and different works. Um, but just in the little bit that I do, just seeing him in Mortal Kombat as Scorpion,
Oh yeah,
he was amazing. He was amazing to me in that, and you know that movie starts off with him losing his family, and so you get attached to his character real quick.
yeah,
Um, and so you know, I'm a fan of his work. Obviously, not to the extent that you are, but I am there, and I just echo every sentiment that you said about him in this. It is, dude, like he's at the top of his craft, and obviously, this is set in Japan, and it has the whole background. So I'm sure it's just an easy transition for him to work in
yeah,
things like this. So, yeah, hats
yeah.
off to him, man.
Yeah, another property that he was in that I really do like, The Last Samurai with Tom Cruise, and he was the one of the lieutenants in the Samurai.
I
Yeah,
did see that one actually. Yep.
killed it there. So I mean, it's like then right back into the role. John Wick, if you remember John Wick, he did phenomenal as John Wick in that one.
Oh, because he went to go see. I have seen him in
Yeah,
a couple of things. He went to go see him.
Bullet Train. He's in Bullet Train. He's the father, which he killed it in that,
Never
bro.
mind.
This man,
I lied.
yeah,
I've seen him in a lot.
yeah. So this man is just talented, man, and I'm so happy to see him in here. So he's the steal of the show by far for me. He's great. I can't wait to see what goes on. Another character that I did enjoy, and I was like, hey, she's pretty, and I where do I recognize her from though? And it's Lady Mariko, played by Anna Sawai. Sawai.
Yeah, she's good. Yep.
Yeah, she did a great job too, and I had to look her. I'm like, where is she from? I was like, oh my god, yeah. I said she was pretty too in that thing too, and she ended up being in Monarch, Godzilla, the Godzilla spinoff show. She did a great job in that one too. So yeah, if you haven't seen that one, go check that out too. That's a great show. But yeah, she's in this one. She did a phenomenal job. This show all around, I think, by the whole cast was phenomenal. Let's move on to John Blackthorne, the other protagonist. I think that's going to be part of this show. What'd you think, Jet? What'd you think about his performance? Cosmo Jarvis.
So all flowers to Sonata, 100%. Like I said, I echo everything you said. But this man, John Blackthorne, for me, bro, like just seeing his journey and his character progression through 2 episodes. Like it's just 2 episodes. But him going from nah, fuck all these guys. I'm grateful for my life, and just seeing like the understanding of the culture and man,
yeah,
he's so
he
good.
did phenomenal. Yeah, he did phenomenal. He started off with this like raggedy hair, and it was droopy and all dirty, and they gave him a haircut and didn't even look like the same guy. Gloria's like, oh my god, that's the same guy. Yeah, that's him. So that was he did a great performance. I'm excited to see the future episodes with Sonata and with Jarvis and see how they interact going forward. Another character that I did like and I thought he was funny was the Spaniard. I think he was Spaniard, played by Ernesto Cornabel. The Vasco Rodriguez was his name in the show, and he kind of like took Blackthorne with him and stuff, and was showing him the ropes. And like, yeah, hey, we're gonna go see somebody more powerful than these guys. And he's like, these guys would kill to lick the boots of the guy or of the main daimyo. He's like, oh shit. So right away you get a feel for like, damn, if these guys aren't the guys, and oh shit, who am I gonna go see? So yeah, I really enjoyed Rodriguez's character as well. He was funny. He brought
since we're there, that whole scene of him going overboard and the attempt to rescue him, that was crazy.
Absolutely nuts. Yeah, he ended up going overboard. Jarvis, Blackthorne goes right down to the bottom. Like, hey, if you guys want to live, row, like, let's go. He threw an oar, I think, out to him too. Like, here's this. Hopefully you make it. And they end up surviving that. That was a crazy scene. Actually, intense, edge of your seat type of scene. I was like, oh my god, how did that not capsize? They're going through the storm. They end up making it through the next morning and get to the bay. and he wants to go right away save Rodriguez. He's like, I don't know how you guys do it here, but as for me, I don't leave a man behind. He gets the rope. He's like,
yeah, that was a fire line too. The delivery was on point.
Yeah, absolutely. And the I guess the lieutenant for Sonata was on there, and he wasn't gonna let him go. He's like, nah, man, we don't gotta worry about him. And the other general or the other lieutenant that we'll talk about in a minute too, who we actually saw early on, who we thought might have been a key player, and he kind of is, but not to the level of Sonata. He didn't like it, but this man end up stepping in. Yaibu is the character's name. He ends up stepping in like, hey, nah, he's a good pilot. Let's go rescue him. We might need him later on. They're all right, cool. So then, yeah, they end up going and rescue the Spaniard, which I thought this was a phenomenal scene too. He's over the edge of the cliff, and he's like, hey, don't let him hurt himself, right? We need this guy. He's a good pilot as well. And he's like, all right, I'm gonna go save him. He's like, no, you're not going nowhere. He's like, all right, well, are you gonna do it then? And then, bro, I thought this was a funny scene because his crew or his guys are with him, and he's telling him like, "I'll go. Don't worry." Like, no, don't you see what he's trying to do? He's trying to make me like, come on. He's trying to intimidate me and then make it like if I fail, he wants to
be like
fail.
a bitch, basically.
Yeah, he wants to make me look like a bitch in front of everybody. Nah, I got it. So he ends up going down, and you could see Blackthorn's face. Like, I don't know. What did you think? You think he knew that rope was gonna break? I don't know. He looked like he was like, yeah, something's about to happen.
I could kind of see that.
Yeah.
And it was killing me because bro had his hands behind his back, like he was like,
yeah,
I'm gonna watch y'all fail for real.
Yeah, absolutely. So he ends up going down the cliff, rope breaks, he falls. He's like, well, sorry about your shitty captain. I was like, damn, that's crazy. They end up trying to go get help, and he ends up like, all right, nah, he's good. He's just got blood all over his face. He ends up rescuing Rodriguez's character and pulling him up. He ends up falling into the little bay, into the little rocks, and it looks like he's about to drown. And what does he do? He pulls out his sword, and he's about to do
crazy.
Yeah, absolutely insane. I was like, oh shit! Like, what are you gonna? I thought he was gonna try to stab it. And I was like, no. After a little second, I was like, no, he's gonna do the deed, man. Nah, he's ready.
This is an anime. Like.
Yeah, nah, this is crazy. So he pulls out the sword, and he's about to, and just as he's about to, the rope ends up falling on his shoulder, and he's saved. He's rescued. So phenomenal scene. Gets to the top, and this is where I was like, wow, Blackthorn. You could see the flip of the switch for his character right there, because the whole time he's like, nah, you guys are savages. You guys whatever. And no, he bows and show of respect to him. Like, okay, you got my respect. You earned it. And yeah, that's where I think the character just switches, and he understands where he's at, and that these people aren't savages, that, you know, they just have a different culture. So that was a phenomenal scene for me as well. Any scenes that you want to talk about before I go to my absolute, I think this was my favorite scene of the last 2 episodes.
Had it. Oh, okay, I do remember it. But you could say yours if if we have the same one, then, you know, obviously
maybe
you're a better storyteller, so you maybe do yours.
My favorite scene so far, there was actually 2, but this one I think was bigger as far as the world that's gonna happen, and it's when he's recounting his story and drawing the map for them. He's sitting in front of the whole council.
Yeah,
he's sitting in front of the whole troops, and he's in front of the Lord. And we didn't even talk about it too. Lord Toronata is tasked with protecting the daimyo that passed son. He's tasked with protecting him and keeping him safe. So he's there too, and they're showing him respect. Like, yeah, you want to tell him to take a bath? We'll tell him to take a bath, but let's talk to him real quick, and you can tell him whatever you want. They're showing him respect. Like, he's the boss, just he's not ready for the role yet. So I like that aspect of it as well. So yeah, he's there. They're talking to him like, where are you from? What's your culture? You know, what's going on? He's telling them, I'm from England. These are the 2 other countries that we're at war at. And they have this secret passageway to get to your guys' country, and they're just trying to keep it to themselves and not let anybody else know. So we decided to use that ravine, and we were avoiding these bases along the way. And he's like, bases? Yeah. And he wants to know more about the enemy bases. Like, yeah, they're building bases on your guys' island, on the outskirts and stuff. And he's like, okay. And then he continues to say, like, between, I think it was Portuguese and Spain were the 2 countries that made a treaty that they divided the map down the middle, and whatever falls on each region is who they control. And he's telling them this, and he's like, yeah, and Japan falls on Portuguese side, so you guys are under their control. You belong to them. He used the words, you belong to them. And he goes, wait. Did he really just use the words belong? And right there, the music's kicking up, the tone's picking up. And we're like, oh shit! And they're getting a grasp of we're just a small island in terms of these other countries. And what do you mean we belong to them? We're like, we're our own country. What are we talking about? And they're like, no, no, no. They control you, and they want to convert everybody that's non-Christian, non-Catholic, and get their leaders out and put their leaders in. And he's like, oh shit! And as he's saying this, Lady Mariko's character is realizing, because she's Catholic at this point too, and she has the cross on and she's praying and things like that, and she's like, no, you're lying. She's like, I'm not lying. Like, do you pray on your God, or do you believe it in your God? And he goes, no, yeah, I'm telling you the truth. It's like, damn. So as he's recounting the story, you just get the grasp of the whole world, and it's bigger than just Japan. I think they even mentioned China, but they didn't know to the extent of the other countries and stuff. So I really enjoyed that scene a lot. It was Toranada just realizing, like, damn, this is a bigger game that we need to play. And he ends up playing it later on in the season pretty well, and maybe to the benefit of another good scene that we'll get into in a little bit. But yeah, phenomenal scene for me. I thought this was going to be a great season, and that just started it all. What do you think?
Yeah, I was a fan of that as well. And it's going to play into something that I'm going to talk about a little bit later, as far as historical accuracies and just how how well made of a show this is. But to get to my favorite scene, at least off the top of my head right now, is when I believe they're taking John to be executed,
Okay,
and they got the bag over his head, and that rescue mission, that was just like just everything going on around him, and because he prayed that he
was
wouldn't
praying.
die.
Yeah.
And so, like, everything is going on around him, because the arrows, they just happen instantly, and it kind of like,
Yeah.
I don't want to say I got scared, but I jumped a little bit because I was not expecting something like that. And so arrows are going around him, and he's just standing there, and he can hear it, but he's just,
Yeah.
it's just kind of like one of those things, like maybe he's accepted his fate a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just interesting, because at that point you just see like maybe the I don't know if good guy is the right term, but
Well, like they've mentioned it a couple times that the daimyos are playing a game. These guys are all playing a political game, and he wanted to get in on that game, and this is a callback to the other scene, that he wanted to get in on the game, and he's like, no, you don't know me. Like, no, you can't play their game. They're ahead of us, and then you don't know what they're doing. Like, no, you don't know me. I can get in on the game. So I think it's more of those like I don't know if it's those chess pieces moving, and he kind of just like, all right, let me see what's going on, or if that's what you meant. I'm not sure. What you trying to?
Because you think like Sonata has like an ulterior motive to keep John alive.
Absolutely. Well, at least in the forefront, right? He brought him to the base to kind of stay his execution, so to speak, and realize that the other two Christian lords were gonna want him dead. So he brought him here for a reason, at least for his own purpose at the beginning. And I think after that, after knowing all this other information, yeah, he's gonna have more of an involvement together, and they're gonna kind of team up. That's what he said, right? In my scene, he's gonna be like, I'm here to help you, so we have a common enemy. We need to team up and get rid of them. So I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Because I think I like the scene a lot, just because obviously the action around it, but just obviously I like Blackthorn as a character, so I just wanted him to live, and obviously Sonata is the one that's like helping him live. He saved his life twice, in an action way, saved his life twice. So it's just kind of like, I don't know, just having someone to root for, and obviously that's Sonata and Blackthorn. So
yeah, this is gonna be a great duo. I did like that scene too, because before that happened, actually, Yabu's character was talking to Ishido, so he's kind of like playing both sides. He's with the two major lords. He's under Toradana, which is another great. There's so many great scenes, and they land on the beach when the ship gets there, and he's like, "No, this is my ship. I thought this was my fief, my territory." Oh, I'm sorry. This is your turn. I thought you were loyal to my lord. And he kind of puts their hand on their sword, and they all do like, oh shit, like no, yeah, of course, sorry, I'm just getting ready for you. I thought that was a phenomenal scene too. But we see Yabu talking with Ishido, and he didn't want to execute Blackthorn right away, but he had to in order to execute Toranada. So he's like, well, where your hands are tied, mine aren't. I could help you out there. So he ends up rescuing them in that way for Ishido. And as we see in that scene, it's bandits that actually do the deed, and Yabu's men go and kill the bandits, which were hired by him, so that like, it made it look like he was the hero when he was just passing through. And he tells this to Toranada, and Toranada's like, "Oh, you happen to be in all these places at the right time. Okay, that's good. That's good." He knows. He's a smart guy.
Yeah.
He knows. Man. So I thought that was funny. Yeah, great performances all around by the entire cast. Like I mentioned, it's a game being played amongst the lords, and really amongst Toranada and Ishido, the two lords playing the game probably at their peak. So I thought this episode was so well done, so well written, so well acted. The score was so beautiful. The locations that we got to see so far were absolutely phenomenal. And one more point I wanted to bring up before we move on was to Sonata's point. I mentioned he's playing chess while we're playing checkers. At the beginning, he realizes that there's a ship that crashed, and he sends his lieutenant to go out there, like I mentioned. And I'm over here thinking like, oh, okay, he wants the ship, because we find out the information later that they had 200, I think, guns and 20 cannons on there. And I was like, oh, he wants the the firearms and stuff to kind of get ready for war against the other lords. And small brain me, right? No. Sonata's like, no, yeah, okay, that's a benefit. But I want who's on that ship. I want the people on that ship to maybe help me in my stay of execution for now, and I can talk about that later. So just masterful performance and masterful thinking from Toranada. I can't believe it. So
I just thought of another scene of mine that was my favorite. When so you get attached to John Blackthorne and Rodriguez, and you're thinking that they're gonna be like a little duo moving forward, that they can help each other because he just saved his life. But then come to find out that he has John's journal. He's like, I'm gonna go ahead and turn this over to
the Portuguese when I get to land.
Like, and then John picks up like a cup or something and is gonna kill him, and he's like, try it, buddy.
Yeah, that was crazy. You thought Rodriguez was his friend, and he's probably regretting, like, damn, I should have let you drown, bro. Like, damn. Yeah, that was a great scene.
And he told him in the beginning, I'm not your friend.
Yeah, I'm not your friend, man. So that was great. And he ends up doing it too. We get that in the later scene. Hey, he knows about our secret route. He knows what's going on here, and he's here for a purpose and stuff. So then that's actually a callback to, or not a callback, but we see that fleshed out a little bit more in the final episode, or in the final scene of episode 2. We get an assassin that shows up, and we're thinking the assassin is there for Toranada. Come to find out, no, the assassin's not there for Toranada. The assassin was there for Blackthorne. Toranada, and another way that he's just masterful thinking, he switched rooms and gave his room to Blackthorne, and he slept in Blackthorne's room. And he had a feeling something was going to happen, and sure enough, here comes the assassin. By the way, she was straight, like going through people left and right, like soldiers, innocents, everything. Everybody that was in her path was getting destroyed. But she ends up going to the room of Blackthorne, come to find out, and Toranada's just sitting there waiting, caught her by surprise. Blackthorne comes in to try to save Toranada, and she goes right away. She sees him, and she goes after him, and she kind of just like fell over after a little bit. That's when he explains, like, nah, I switched rooms, and he's there for him, not for me. So absolutely insane. Any other scenes or any other things you want to talk about you could think of?
Yeah, as far as scenes go, and this kind of bleeds into what I want to talk about after.
Take it away. Go for it.
So the scene where they take away John from his friends, and then they take one of John's friends and kills him in the pot.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Brutal scene. And it's every so often that a show comes around like this, with such historical accuracy and detail embedded in the show, and really shows like that. It's really when you get masterful performances, because it's not actors playing like make believe characters, so they gotta kind of you kind of have to learn more of a person, I think, because they're made up. So you don't really have a lot to go off of. You gotta really like do a lot of digging to get a performance from a fictional character. But this and another show that you and me love, Chernobyl. It
Yeah.
just shows, for one, it shows the gruesome and the inhumane things that really used to go on back then. Like it's just crazy to see like the special effects and because I think for a second you saw like her burning flesh, if I'm not like
Yeah.
tripping. So
It was
yeah, it
blood.
was, and they did the same thing in Chernobyl, like with the radioactivity. Like they showed like
The
people's like
effects.
flesh melt. Like it's crazy. So I I want to give it props for that because it's crazy to see. Um, but yeah, the performances in this, man, like I I am just really blown away from the performances, the set pieces, and the historical accuracy all put together. And it's just an amazing show.
Mhm.
It really is. Like, and because you said Gloria loves like feudal Japan, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like I don't. You know what I'm saying? I don't really like Chernobyl, but stuff like this when you can actually like see it and see people reenact it, it's just it just makes for masterful television. So
Yeah.
I'm just really blown away, man.
Yeah, this is gonna be one hell of a season. I'm super excited to see where this goes. And I thought, from judging off the trailer, it was just we're gonna get some cool battle scenes, and it was, your basic, lords fighting each other or whatever. But no, it's a lot
Yeah.
more than that. So I'm super excited for this. Uh, and I'm just gonna throw this out. FX, they from time to time they have their shows that just absolutely kill it. They have my favorite show of all time, Sons of Anarchy. So looks like this is gonna be moving up there too, man. I'm super excited for this. I can't wait to see how this all plays out. But yeah, there you guys go. That was our review for Shogun on FX, also on Hulu. That's the way we watched it. So if you guys have Hulu, you can check it out on there. Let us know your thoughts on it down below. If you've seen the episodes, are you excited for the season? Let us know your favorite scenes, aspect, actors, characters, all that. Let us know all that good stuff down in the comments below. And in the meantime, make sure you guys drop us a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out our podcast at LFG Podcast. We got a bunch of great stuff going on over there for pop culture, movies, TV, video games, music. Check us out over there. And in the meantime, keep it locked here to LFG. We've got you covered on anything and everything in pop culture. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.